Today we are going to see different types of CPU scheduling algorithms. CPU scheduling algorithms can be classified into non-preemptive scheduling and preemptive scheduling. Now, what is non-preemptive approach? In non-preemptive approach, once a process is assigned to the CPU completes that process and then only the process will get outside the CPU. Means there is a completion of the process. In primitive approach, the process comes outside the CPU when a higher priority process comes inside or a time quantum is elapsed. Okay. Then there is first CPU scheduling algorithm is the first come first serve scheduling algorithm. Now what is first come first serve scheduling algorithm? We'll see this with the example. First come, first serve means the process gets the priority to get inside the CPU according to its arrival. If the process comes first, it will get the CPU first, it will execute, and then it will come out of the CPU. Now, for example, suppose we have 5 processes P1 to P5, and they have the given burst time is given to them. The burst time is given in milliseconds. That can be any unit of time. The burst time for P1 is 5, for P2 is 24, P3 is 16, P4 is 10, and P5 is 3. Now, what is the burst time? Burst time is the time taken for the process for its execution. Now, what we are going to do in the scheduling, we are going to calculate the waiting time and the turnaround time. In this In this problem, we are not given with the arrival time. Arrival time means the time at which the process has arrived to get inside the CPU. As the arrival time is not given, the arrival time will be 0 and the processes will get inside the CPU in the given sequence. Means from P1 it will start and it will end at P5. Now at now the process CPU is free. It has no process inside. So first the process which will get inside will be the P1 process. So the P1 process will get inside at the 0 millisecond time. It will execute till its complete burst time. Its burst time is 5. So your P1 will execute from 0 to 5. Till that time CPU is allocated only to the P1 process. Then comes the P2 process in the sequence. P2 can get inside the CPU after P1 has completed. When is P1 completed? P1 is completed at 5 milliseconds. So P2 will start executing after 5 milliseconds. So 5 plus 25, 4, that is the burst time of P2. So 5 plus 24, that is 29. After P2 has executed, P3 can get inside. So it will get inside the CPU at time 29 milliseconds. So it will execute from 29 plus 16, that is till 45. Then P4 will enter at 45. 45 plus its burst time, that is 10. So 45 plus 10 is 55. Then P5 will get inside. So that is 55 plus 3, that is 58. Okay, till this time all the processes will complete its execution. Then now we will calculate the waiting time. Okay, waiting time is the time the process waits till the CPU is allocated to it. For the P1 process comes inside, arrives at arrival time 0, and it gets the CPU at the same time. So the waiting time for P1 is 0 minus 0, that is 0 milliseconds. So P1 is not waiting for any time, it waits for the 0 milliseconds time. Then the P2 process. When does the P2 gets its CPU? P2 gets its CPU at 5 milliseconds. Okay, when it has arrived at 0 milliseconds. So P2's waiting time is 5 minus 0. Then P3's waiting time. P3 waiting time is 29 minus 0. P4's waiting time is 45 minus 0. And P5's waiting time is 55 minus 0. Means, see, this is the average waiting time. So what is the average waiting time for P1? It is 0. For P2, it is 5 minus 0. P3, it is 29 minus 0. P4 is 45 minus 0. P5 is 55 minus 0. Now we have to calculate the average waiting time. What is the average waiting time? Waiting time for all the process divided by the number of process. So what is the waiting time for all the process? We have to do the total. 0 plus 5 plus 29 plus 45 plus 55 divided by 5. That is 25 milliseconds. This is the average waiting time. Then we will calculate the turnaround time. Now what is the turnaround time? Turnaround time is the waiting time plus the burst time. Already we have calculated the waiting time. Now what is the burst time? Burst time is given to you. That is the time required for the process for the execution. So what is the turnaround for P1? That is 0 plus 5, that is 5. P2 is 5 plus 24, 29. P3 is 29 plus 16, that is 45. P4 is 45 plus 10, that is 55. P5 is 55 plus 3, that is 58. So what is the average turnaround time? To the total of all the turnaround times divided by number of process. That is 187 divided by 5, that is equal to 37.5.